All right, good evening and welcome to the Land Use and Building Management Committee meeting of November 5th, 2025. It is 7:01 and I am calling the meeting to order. First item is roll call. Tonight we have with us council members Jim Frayer, Nicole Eady, Nicole Ayers, and myself, Barbara Smith. Next item on the agenda is the acceptance of the minutes of our meeting of October 1, 2025. Do I have a motion, please? Ms. Eady, are there any corrections, changes? All right, seeing none. All in favor of approving the minutes, please raise your hand. Okay, that is unanimous. Moving on to public participation. Is there anyone here who would like to speak? I see Ms. Laricella.
Yes, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
I am in a hallway, so I'm sorry for any echoing. I hope can you still understand me?
Yes, we can. We hear a little echo, but we can still hear you.
Okay. Anyway, first of all, good evening. For the record, my name is Diane Laricella, 21 Little Fox Lane. First of all, I wanted to congratulate the winners and Miss Barbara as our new mayor, and for all of those who ran and won, of course, and all of those who just ran. Tonight, I wasn't going to speak, but I would be remiss if I didn't continue a theme that I have spoken about throughout the years. It has to do with some policy decisions related to the removal of underground fuel tanks. And I know that I'm sure the Board of Ed will be discussing this. Columbus School is the one that came to my attention. And what I wanted to ask was, how many more from the gentleman, the facilities manager, how many more underground fuel tanks are still in the public system? As I've said before, there is a lot of risk in waiting 30 years before an underground fuel tank is removed, even though that's what the state of Connecticut gives as a deadline. And I am, as many of you know, I'm a former regulator, and they're ticking time bombs. And to reduce the amount of potential contamination, I just wanted to know, because I've said this for many years, how many more do we have, and can we get rid of them before the 30-year mark? So that's a question I'd love answered. Then the last thing I wanted to chat about is item G, which is Calf Pasture Beach, the Rec and Park Center, item F, item H, and item I. And that's all related to the policy of designing projects without first looking to see if they could be designed right up front as a net zero energy public building, and also clean energy. I noticed that Columbus School, for instance, was converted to gas very quickly. I wanted to approach you, Madam Mayor-elect, that we can do better with our policy for clean energy adoption right up front when a building is being designed. But I would like to know for each of those items I mentioned, and I will find out later, especially the Rec and Park Center, which has a new roof, why we don't have solar as part of the mix to reduce the electricity cost to our citizen taxpayers. And with that, have a great night. Again, congratulations to all, and I look forward to the discussion.
Thank you, Ms. Laricella. And please note that Councilmember Heather Dunn joined the meeting at 7:02, right after we got started. Welcome.
Sorry, Barbara, should we speak now or wait until you call up
wait, just a minute, please, Alex. Let's see if there's anyone else for public participation who would like to speak. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. So then I will go ahead and close public participation and move on now to new business, which is A, consider the request by the Library Board of Directors for the naming of the History Room at Belden Library in honor of Ralph C. Bloom, and to schedule a public hearing. So will someone please move that? Ms. Dunn, thank you very much. Okay, so go ahead, Alex, you may
let me defer
you're going to begin the presentation.
to Amoina, who's
Okay,
president of the board, and I'll speak
okay,
next.
all right. Thank you. Go ahead, Moina. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Moina Noor, and I am president of the Norwalk Public Library Board. And in your packet, you'll see a memo from me describing why the library board would respectfully request that the Land Use Committee recommend to the full Common Council the naming of the history room at 1 Belden Avenue in honor of Ralph C. Bloom. This honor would recognize Mr. Bloom's foundational role in establishing and maintaining the history room, and acknowledge his nearly 40 years of service as Norwalk's official city historian. It would also celebrate his extensive contributions through scholarship, museum administration, and preservation advocacy. Mr. Bloom's life's work has profoundly enriched our community. The history room he founded ensures that Norwalk's past remains a living resource for its future and will benefit our city for generations to come. Thank you for your consideration of this request. And I'm here with my colleagues, fellow board members, Alex Knopp and Patsy Brescia, to also speak in support of this.
Thank you very much, Moina. Who would like to speak next? Go ahead, Alex.
Alex Knopp, 35 Fifth Street, former mayor and former president of the library board. I'd like to associate myself with Moina's memo and comments. Let me also add that Ralph has made tremendous contributions to the Norwalk Public Library system, in addition to his contributions for preserving and education about Norwalk's history. For many years, until recently, Ralph was the founder and leader of the Friends of the Library, which sponsored its annual book sales, helped contribute funds for things like the purchase of the library's van, new carpeting, new shades, and organized the free book giveaways, which have been able to allow over 30,000 books to be distributed for free to patrons of the library. So in addition to his unique role as guardian of Norwalk's history, he's also played a very important role in strengthening and enhancing the role of the library in our community. And I urge you to move this matter to a public hearing and support the naming of the history room after Ralph. Thank you for these opportunities to remark.
Thank you very much, Alex. Patsy?
Yes, sure. I'm currently vice chairman of or vice president of the library board for the last 10 years or so. But in addition to seeing what Ralph has done at the library, I served, I think, was on Mayor Mosher's committee to to discuss the archives that were currently in South Norwalk in the district building that had been City Hall many years ago. And it was an enormous undertaking when the committee decided to move the city's archives to the library and to have them become part of the history of and bringing it all together. And that was a wise decision. I was very delighted that we made that decision. But Ralph saw and every day and worked on that. In addition, Ralph has been involved decades ago at Lockwood Matthews Mansion, which you all know I'm involved with currently, and I am currently pretending I'm the archivist in the basement at the mansion, and every day I'm going through papers that are 50, 60, 100, 150 years old, but the 50s, 60s, I keep running across one article after another about Ralph's contributions through the years. So it's most appropriate, and I hope that we move this forward as quickly as we can. In addition, some people might not remember that Ralph was instrumental in helping to preserve the WPA paintings that are all around City Hall. I served on that committee in the 80s, and they were saved, and they're there now, and we're well known for having one of the best collections in the country. So he's contributed on so many different levels. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Patsy. Yeah, you know, his contribution to Norwalk has just been profound and extensive. And I'm really, you know, thankful that you have come forward with this, and we have some more comments. Ms. Ayers.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just to the library board for a point of clarity, a discussion came up in the Democratic caucus, I believe last week or the week before, about names that are raised. And I'm asking this question for a point of education and to maybe help us as we go further. What is the process, if any process, does the library board use to vet or raise names of individuals in our community? Obviously, this person has done more than most to contribute to our community in a positive way. But what is the process that the library board uses to vet names that come forth? If you could educate us at all on your process.
You're on mute, Moina.
I would say, in regards to the naming, since the ordinance change, this is the first naming of a space in memory of in honor of somebody who is, it's not a posthumous naming. So as soon as that ordinance was changed, we brought and we have been thinking about ways to honor Ralph's contribution. We brought that forth to the library board, had a discussion. I think our vote on the resolution was unanimous, and therefore we brought it forth to the wrote it for the land use committee's consideration.
Madam Chair, just a follow-up. So
Sure.
it was you guys didn't use an outside source to vet anybody. It was just an internal discussion. Am I clear?
Yep, correct.
Thank you so much.
Ms. Dunn.
I want to start by saying congratulations, Patsy, on your award the other night.
Thank you.
I hope it was successful. I was
It
really
was.
honored to have been invited, so thank you. I really enjoyed it. I think this is a great thing for Raf. I think he's done an amazing thing too for the city. My only thing is, knowing him for a long time, I want that stack of index cards with everything on it to be part of the library, maybe even just a little sculpture. We could make that happen, because that's my my thing with Ralph. I was like, I need something. I'm doing a show on Raggedy Ann or something. He'd pull out the stack of index cards, but he always knew where things were and he could always get them. So he's always a wealth of information of the history of Norwalk, and it was a total passion, and he really created that passion in other people too. So I'm absolutely in favor of this. I think it's great. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Dunn. Mr. Freyer.
Yes, thank you. I met Mr. Bloom probably, it seems like 100 years ago. But one of the first impressions I got from him was that he just epitomized what history of the Norwalk was, that he was the source of everything there was to know, every, smallest bit piece of history that you'd ever want to know. And that was probably about 30 years ago when I first met him. A couple of years ago, I was writing some articles about Norwalk, about the islands and some other historical things. And I have to just say that the history, or the history room in the library, because of his efforts, is one of the finest research facilities available along in Fairfield County, at least in Fairfield County, probably maybe even in Connecticut. The wealth of information, the detailed information, how far back it goes, is just absolutely phenomenal. And I think it's, I can't think of a better way or better better celebration of his life, and as to put his name on the front of the history room in the library. Everybody should be reminded about the job that he did and the meticulous notes he kept, and the just the assemblage of information about the city that we like. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Frey. Any further comments?
I will, I'd just like to say that in my conversation with Ralph, he did make it clear that he did not want the room to be called the Ralph Bloom History Room, because that indicates that it's his history. He wants it to be the Norwalk History Room, founded by Ralph, or I think he used the word established by Ralph Bloom. So I just wanted to make that clear.
Sounds very
Although his history might be very interesting.
Yeah,
too.
absolutely.
It is.
I think it is quite.
But then it doesn't become an ordinance, right? If we're not naming it for him, it does, is it an ordinance thing, yeah?
Well, it will be as part of, I mean, hopefully in the title somehow, so.
Okay. Okay, and so, yeah, so what we're doing tonight is just voting to move the naming to a public hearing for the next meeting. And then assuming it passes the next meeting, it will go to the Common Council. And just to be clear, the ordinance does state that with naming a building or facility or any part thereof, an individual shall be deceased at least 1 year prior to the naming, unless the Common Council determines by a 2/3 majority plus 1 vote that a living individual or a person who has been deceased, living individual, right, or person who's been deceased deserves the honor. So this is a person who's very much alive and does require a 2/3 vote of the council. So just wanted to point that out. Unless there are any further questions or comments, I'll go ahead and call for the vote to move to a public hearing. If you're in favor, please raise your hand. All right, that's unanimous. So the public hearing will be at our December meeting, which is December 3rd. Okay, thank you very much. Oh, Alan?
Yeah, just very quickly, Joanne, do you get exactly how we want to name the room? Because when we do the public notice for public hearing, if it's a specific way that the name needs to be named, we should capture that in the public hearing. Okay, it's called. I didn't hear except all the words, so it's whatever it is. If you have it, right?
Yes, I'll check with you, Maureen, for the exact verbiage.
Yeah, that's great. That would be great.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
Okay, very good. So we'll see you all again December 3rd.
Thank
And
you.
of course, invite anyone else that you would like to speak on behalf of the naming.
Great.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to item B. Authorize the purchasing agent to issue a purchase order to Rings End Inc. as the sole source provider for the purchase of the replacement doors and hardware for the Norwalk Concert Hall for a total not to exceed $89,640. Funds are available from the following accounts noted. Will someone move that, please? Mr. Freyer. Okay. I'll turn that over to you, Alan.
Sure. I got Neil coming to the
Neil,
meeting
okay.
today. He just
Yep.
got back from Florida yesterday, so here he is. So Neil, if you don't mind, explain why is sole source and everything else.
So this is for the doors out on the terrace that we just redid at City Hall, which is the entrance or the front of the building, and that leads to the concert hall. We'd like to replace these doors. We sent this out to bid some time ago, and it came in much higher. It came in at $187,000, which is well over our budget. So what we like to do, we were able to source through Rings End the doors and the hardware, and at a later date we would then look to install those, and we believe we could bring that in probably $30,000-$40,000 under the bid amount that we received. Again, we're restoring the doors. Hopefully the doors will be exactly to what we have out there today. They're much larger than the doors that are made today. We want them to replicate what we have out there. Obviously, the doors out there were built, put in the 1930s. There may have been some work done since then, but they're well past their date of and we have trouble closing them during stormy weather, humid weather. They don't close correctly. So if somebody goes out, they get it left ajar and it becomes a security issue.
Mhm. Any questions or comments? Ms. Dunn?
Hi, so is there an ADA component to this?
There is an AD.
Closing or like the push button thing that you can,
One of the doors will have a door assist on it, the one closest to the new ramp that we built out there. So both doors will enter into that foyer area.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything else? Okay, seeing none, all in favor, please raise your hand. Okay, that's unanimous. Thank you. Item C, authorize Mayor Harry W. Rilling to execute an amended license agreement with the Fairfield County Makers Guild for the use of an additional 528,000 square feet, 528 square feet at 3 Belden Avenue at a licensing fee of $4.50 per square foot for a revised rental payment of $5,940 per year or $1,485 per quarter. Will someone move that item, please? Ms. Ayers, thank you very much. And, oops, looking forward to my backup here.
And,
Alan.
I'll
Alan,
speak.
take
I'll
that?
I'll
Oh,
speak.
you're on that one too, Neil?
I will-
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
So
There it is.
Makers Guild is our current tenant over there. And as you stated, they had 792 square feet, and we're looking to bring that up to 1,320 square feet. We recently had economic development tourism move out a couple of the offices along with redevelopment, and business for Makers has been pretty good, and they asked to expand their footprint on the first floor. So we're hoping to accommodate that.
Questions? Ms. Dunn?
So is that because they moved out to Washington Street?
They were at Washington, and they moved over here, and their lease was October 3rd, 2024 is when they first came into 3 Belden.
So will they need to move out again or no?
No. Now this allowed them to expand some of their footprint, some of their offerings.
I'm sorry. Redevelopment moved out.
Redevelopment moved out. They had a couple offices downstairs at 3 Belden, where Makers is up in the front conference room, and they have where they have their 3D printers in another office there. So they're looking to expand that operation.
So will redevelopment need to go back in at some point?
They do not. They have three. They have 3 offices upstairs that they currently use. So they've reduced their footprint, and Makers is looking to increase.
Okay. Great, thanks.
Any other questions? All right, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, please raise your hand. Unanimous.
You know, I think I have Neil come to this meeting more often because he does such a good job.
Yeah.
Great job, Neil. All right.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you very much. You too. All right, moving on to item D. Resolved that the Norwalk Land Use and Building Management Committee is hereby established as the building committee with regard to the Columbus School at 46 Concord Underground Storage Tank Removal Project. Resolved that the Norwalk Common Council hereby authorizes at least the preparation of schematic drawings and outline specifications for the Columbus School at 46 Concord Underground Storage Tank Removal Project. Resolved that the City of Norwalk Common Council authorizes the City of Norwalk Board of Education to apply to the Commissioner of Administrative Services and to accept or reject a grant for the Columbus School at 46 Concord Underground Oil Tank Removal Project. Will someone please move that? Ms. Dunn moves that. Thank you very much. And I think Bill's going to take this.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Go
Okay.
ahead. Thanks, Bill.
Just
Oh, did you have,
quickly, Bill, I'm sorry. Are we calling it Columbus School again, or is that just, we need to update that to Concord School?
Well, I can answer that. We're calling it Columbus School because in the eyes of the state, it's still known as that. So when we apply for the grant, they may not understand Concord versus Columbus. That's why we also put the address, 46 Concord Columbus School. So
it's very confusing because
I know.
it's Concord School, which is now at the PONUS site. So, yeah, that is confusing, but understood.
Right. Okay, so what we have here is a little history here. Back 6 years ago, we had 21 underground oil storage tanks in the district. Today we have 5. So in 6 years, we removed 16. This is a continuation of that project. 2 of the 16 had contaminated soil, and that contaminated soil was not from a leaking tank. So every tank we removed was not leaking. The contaminated soil was from historical leaks. So something leaked there prior to the tank that we removed. So that's just a bit of a history here. The one we have in front of you today is the one at Columbus at 46 Concord. And we plan on applying for a state grant of which we would receive 60% reimbursement. And we're following the normal procedure, and that is the 3 procedure criteria to have the develop a building committee. As you read, the building committee would review the plans and specifications, and that building committee would allow us to apply for a grant. So it's a formality that we need to have this on record. And again, we will be continuing this program with Columbus being the next one next summer. I do want to add that this calendar year during the past summer, we removed 4 of them. Alan removed 2, and the Board of Ed removed the remaining 2. So it's a great program. The state likes to hear about it, and they have never rejected us. So thank you.
Yeah, the only place I have, I think, I don't know, I'm sure, Bill, if I'm not sure you mentioned already. Norwalk High School, I believe we have 2, if not mistaken. That would be removed as part of the upcoming demolition of the existing building. They are emergency generator tanks, and they were put in 2006 or so. So it's not that old. It's about 20 years old. And for the city side, we only as off the top of my head, the only place we have underground tank now, it's actually at the main library. I believe that's the only place we have underground oil tank. The reason why we still have one there is because the library doesn't have any footprint, site space on the site. So we took our old tank, we put it back in the ground. That's probably about 20 years old. And there's also a monitoring device on that tank to track potential fuel seepage and things like that. So there's a system in place to monitoring. Generally speaking, we are pretty good about tank removal. We are done, generally speaking. So
Great.
Just one last note on the 16 that we removed, 5 of which we converted the boilers from oil to gas, and Eversource installed the infrastructure at no cost.
We like that.
Yes.
No cost is good. Ms. Young, I was just going to note that you had joined the meeting when we were finished with this vote, but we note that you are here. And go ahead, you have a question?
Thank you, Chair. So how long would this process take of removing the tank?
It's actually, there's more filing and getting approvals than there is the actual removal.
Mm-hmm.
It literally gets removed in one day.
Okay.
When they take it out, they put it on a flatbed, and they haul it off, while at the same time, we have an environmental consultant group testing the soil. So it's a pretty quick removal process.
And I know that I think that school is being used, and so when would that, I mean, you're gonna have to coordinate with Newark Public Schools, right? Just to make sure that it doesn't interfere with the day.
Absolutely. That's a school. This tank is in the parking lot,
Okay,
and I have a plan to redirect any traffic, but the plan is to get it done while school's not in session in the summer.
okay. That's it. Thank you.
Any further questions?
Yeah, and I get, so it's pretty easy, right? So it's as far as traffic is concerned, because I'm just always concerned about what that looks like during, the day. It's how big is it? Not very big.
6,000 gallons. It's
So-
probably 20 to 25 feet long and maybe 12 foot in diameter.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, all in favor, please raise your hand. Okay. Perfect. Unanimous. Moving on to item E. Resolve that the Norwalk Land Use and Building Management Committee is hereby established as the building committee with regard to the Nathan Hale Middle School asbestos abatement project. Resolve that the Norwalk Common Council hereby authorizes at least the preparation of schematic drawings and outline specifications for the Nathan Hale Middle School asbestos abatement project. And resolve that the City of Norwalk Common Council authorizes the City of Norwalk Board of Education to apply to the Commissioner of Administrative Services and to accept or reject a grant for the Nathan Hale Middle School asbestos abatement project. Will someone move that, please? Mr. Frayer, thank you. Go ahead, Bill. I know
Okay,
you'll
thank
continue
you.
on.
Okay, and very much like the underground oil storage tank, the state likes these projects. They call them code violation projects. They like when you remove hazardous materials and underground oil storage tanks and things of that nature. So again, and we are applying for a grant and we need to meet the first three criteria as you just noted. Just to give you a background, last summer we abated the floor tile at Fox Run Elementary School. We've done a number of schools. We do have an asbestos management plan in place. It's filed with the state. It's updated every 3 years, and the complete district is updated every 3 years. We did some asbestos awareness management training with all the custodians just yesterday. So we have a big program on the management and the removal of asbestos in the schools. We still have maybe a half dozen projects left. This school would probably take 2 summers. It's a large school and we would probably do 1 floor each summer. Because of the magnitude of it, the asbestos floor tile is in the classrooms as opposed to it being in the hallway where there's nothing impeding it. All the classrooms have to be emptied. The floor tile has to be abated, new floor tile has to go in, then the classrooms have to be recreated, all the furniture. That would take an entire summer to do, then we would come back the following summer to complete the job. Again, we're currently doing a capital program for the Board of Ed, and I'm already approaching the MPS to apply for more abatement money for future programs, even next summer. We're probably looking at Naramek and Marvin and Tracy and whatnot. So here's a program that's going to be with us for a while, and it's been around. I've been dealing with this for the past 10 years. There's a lot of asbestos still left, but it's not friable in the sense that it's a health hazard. We do have it under control. There have been some areas in some schools that we had to address differently. That's already behind us. What is remaining is floor tile that exists, but it's non-friable, and that being, it's not airborne,
Mhm.
but it does need to be removed under the asbestos management program filed with the state.
Thank you, Bill. Mr. Fryer.
Thanks, Bill. We've gone through this a couple of times with, I remember Greg Burnett being very interested in the timing of these projects and whether we can do them a little bit quicker. Yeah, have you looked into if we could conceivably get this all done in one summer? You know, could we bring on a bigger team to get in there to seal off, you know, to do more of the classrooms than we're planning on doing in order to get that? Because I think if you do a couple of them and you'll have to seal them off the following year, and you have to worry about whether there's any overhang on the ceiling and all that stuff to make sure you don't get a recontamination of the areas that you've already fixed. So it would it be feasible to spend more money to get the entire job done rather than to break it up into 2 subsequent summers?
So it's a good question. The way we've been dealing with this in the past, if it's an elementary school, it's done in one summer. If it's a middle school, which is roughly twice the size of an elementary school, it's done in 2 summers, only because of all the obstacles in the way. So
Right.
picture, we have to have teachers pack their room. Now we have to empty their room. That takes time. And that can't take place until after the last day of school. So teachers literally have to come to work after the school session has ended to pack. We move everything into storage containers or in the gymnasium or in the cafeteria if it doesn't have asbestos floor tile there already. It's too much work and too involved to do 120,000 square foot building in one summer. A summer generally lasts 8 to 10 weeks. While we're younger, that takes forever. And then we become adults, the summers just fly by. I've seen it happen. And the last thing I want is we're not ready and the samples are not back and the new floor is not in, and therefore we can't open the school. We don't want to take that chance. So that's the reason why we choose one summer for elementary, 2 summers for middle schools.
So isn't it more expensive when you do one half of it and then, you know, seal, then clean it all up, then come back again the second year, have to take down, and you have to probably re-clean up some of the newer areas that you did the previous year because you're going to have some dust and you know, debris flying around.
Well, actually, what we do is
Year out.
we award the contract on the first year, and they know they're bidding it, and it's going to take 2 years. So what they do is we pre-purchase all the new floor tile, and we store it. Whatever is going to be used the first year will be utilized. Whatever is not going to be used the first year, we already have it in stock. So the pricing we get reflects both summers. It's not like we go out to bid twice. We go out to bid once and they know that it's going to be addressed over 2 summers.
And do they build the cost of the storage of that material over the course of a year?
Well, the storage it'll be stored at the school, so there is no additional fee for that.
And you got enough room in the school to store the material that's needed to complete the job?
If not at that school, we have storage elsewhere within the district and we can easily truck it over.
Which means it's going to cost more though.
Not really, not in terms, we're not paying for storage, maybe labor. for 1 or 2 truckloads to bring it
Exactly.
over.
Exactly.
But that would be labor from our in-house staff.
So I guess my question is, have we ever looked to find out whether this contractor could add to another team, the same team that he's got coming in and get it done one summer? If we had 2 teams, can we get it all done in one summer? And I mean, has anybody ever looked at the possibility of doing that? You know,
Well, when we approach that, we have to also think of the custodians. They're part of the team. They're part of my team. They do all the pre-planning. They empty all the classrooms after the
Right.
teachers pack the classrooms. So we're not paying for that labor per se. In order for them to do that, there's only enough storage where you can fit all the classroom desks and file cabinets and teacher desks and boxes of books and whatnot. And then we, the custodians, also have to repopulate each classroom, not the contractor. So it's a group effort, and even that is quite a bit of a challenge. After the new floor is in, we have to allow minimum 2 to 3 days of drying time for the glue before we can apply any floor finish. So each summer, we're pretty much down to the wire. Just before the students come back, the teachers have to come back even earlier to unpack so their classroom is ready for the students. So while I understand your questions, we've done this so many times that we do appreciate the question, but it's best served to not overload and overburden the crews and to separate a large school over 2 summers.
I understand the fact that you've done this before, and you know, everybody believes that and I'm not saying that you're doing it incorrectly. But you know, and custodians are going to have to work some overtime because of the amount of work that they have to do. But my question has been has somebody sat down with a pencil and paper and said, this is what it costs for us to spread this out over 2 years and take into consideration all the costs. I'm going to have to pay overtime for the custodians anyway to pack up and then restock the classrooms, to move the furniture back, to find a place to put the furniture. You know, all of these costs, the cost of transportation back and forth for the materials, the storage of the materials over the course of the winter, insurance on those that material that we have to store. That's what I'm saying. Does somebody ever sit down and calculate all this stuff and say, oh yes, it certainly is more expensive to try and do it all or all in 1 year as opposed to breaking it up into 2 years?
Well, I don't think we've broken it down to a dollars and cents. It's more of a manpower issue.
But you can always hire outside help.
Can
Well,
I just
true.
add, can I just add something? You know, I think, you know, I've been in a building, Jim, when there was asbestos work done. It's so extensive. And I,
Yes.
you know, I really hear what Bill's talking about here. And because of the timing of the testing that has to be done, you know, clearing the air, the testing,
Yes.
you know, nobody can enter that space
That's right.
unless it's, you know, it's been cleared, tested and cleared and approved. And I mean, it's a big, big operation. And the risk of not being able to let, you know, the teachers and kids come into the classroom at the start of school is really, you know, it's a big concern. You have to be able to.
Yes, it absolutely is. But, you know, this is the question that Greg Burnett, we went through this very same thing about a year ago. And he was not satisfied with the answer, and neither am I right now. I'm just saying that it may not be conceivable to do this, but somebody should be taking a pencil and paper and saying, this is how much this costs. And that there are hidden costs in here, the cost of overtime for custodians, there's cost of storage, cost of insurance on the material that you're storing over the course of the winter. All of those things have to be taken into consideration. Okay, incremental, the learning curve of the contractor that comes in and does it 1 year, and he's got a new team that comes in the next year. You have the same teams that are there the entire thing, and you've got a timeline. You know how long it's going to take. You know how much drying time it takes. It shouldn't be any more complicated to do. Logistically, yes, it's a little bit more complicated, but it's going to take the same amount of time because you're going to have twice as many people doing that job. But my only concern is that I would love to see somebody, even a high level, on the back of an envelope. Yes, this is how much it costs. This is how much we could possibly save. That's all I'm asking. I find there's nothing wrong with your experience that you've done this. You could probably do it with your eyes closed. But I think that as we're looking at tighter and tighter budgets all the time, that we should be testing some of these things to find out exactly how much it would cost, or where are some of the economies that we might be able to find. That's all there is to it. If you don't have it, you don't have it. That's all there is to it.
So, Jim, I'm going to ask you to just follow up with Bill offline,
I'd be happy to.
and, okay,
Yeah, it's fine.
all right, okay. Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, all in favor, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Opposed? Abstentions. Okay, Mr. Freyer is opposed, and that passes. Thank you. All right, moving on to item F. Authorize the purchasing agent to issue a purchase order to Red Thread for $377,540.44, plus a contingency in the amount of $8,000 for the purpose of providing FF&E for the Norwalk Community Recreation Center, account number noted. Authorize the purchasing agent to execute a purchase order to Total Fitness Equipment for $59,932.50, plus a contingency in the amount of $5,000 for the purpose of providing FF&E for the Norwalk Community Center, account numbers noted. And authorize the purchasing agent to execute a purchase order to Audiovisual Technology for $5,141, plus a contingency in the amount of $1,000 for the purpose of providing FF&E for the Norwalk Community Recreation Center, account number noted. And authorize the purchasing agent to execute a purchase order to Hertz Furniture for $2,526.68, plus a contingency in the amount of $750 for the purpose of providing FF&E for the Norwalk Community Recreation Center, account numbers noted. Will someone please move that? Ms. Ayers. Thank you. I see we have
maybe I
Mr.
start
Howard here,
first.
but Alan, you want to introduce?
Yeah, I just want to start first, and then Joanne's going to go into a little more detail. First thing I want to note that the Norwalk Community Recreation Center is moving along pretty well. We are scheduled to complete in March. The only thing that we're having a little problem with is actually with Eversource in terms of gas supply. They may have to put a new main in the street, but they won't be able to do that until spring of next year. But our facility would be open because we don't need heat in the late winter, summertime kind of thing. So they are going to provide us the existing gas line so we can run minimum heat, but at the same time during construction, but wouldn't be completely finished until probably next summer. So in any event, I think we're in good shape. What's in front of you is the FF&E furniture, fixtures, and equipment. The one thing I want to note is that by city ordinance charter, that technically some of these items does not need to come to the committee as well as common council. Only anything over $100,000 would require the common council. We put this on an agenda so that you can see a little global picture of all the furniture we're buying. So I guess, the committee can vote on all the items. Assuming the committee referred to a common council, technically only item that we have to refer to common council is the first one over $100,000. So again, I don't want to confuse people, but at the same time, I just want to everybody understand that, I want to present the whole picture of what we're buying a little bit so that you're aware. So if the committee decide to only refer the $300,000 item, then that's what we do. The other one does not need to be. Right, Joanne, if you can go through a little bit, and also Robert is here tonight, so in case you have a specific question about furnitures and stuff, she should be able to answer those questions.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yes, I just wanted to explain a little bit about which ones they are. We are very fortunate that we were able to find state contract pricing, and so that was really, really helpful. And Silver Petroselli, our architect, did a lot of detail-oriented work. These items too, these 4 different groups, it does include the YMCA purchasing as well, some of their equipment. I do have actually just confirmed some pricing from state contract as well for a lot of their gaming computers, etc. But those won't hit that threshold of 100,000. So I'm just working on getting that paperwork complete as well. So that's just a little bit about it. And if Robert wants to add anything, obviously he's the end user.
Yeah, we're very fortunate actually to be able to open a community center, community recreation center, with just about all the furnishings we need. Usually this thing, it's over time that things complete itself in terms of equipment and furnishings. But we work real closely with the contractors, interior design consultant. We work very close, our staff work very closely with the consultant, and went over all the office furniture in terms of the type of furniture, the endurance of the furniture. We look at colors, and our recreation staff worked really diligently with the consultant. Also, our staff worked with the consultant on our exercise equipment, which we were really frugal, but I think we've got most of what we need in terms of our core equipment. Also, our multi-purpose rooms. We have the tables and chairs. We have 3 multi-purpose rooms. One that probably can hold about 120, up to 120 people. So we have a lot of our chairs and tables stored in there. And we will also have 2 other multi-purpose rooms with tables and chairs. We also have a movie room where we went back and forth. Actually, we put out 2 or 3 quotes for chairs. So we're trying to be as efficient, but as financially prudent as we could be with this. So, and also in our furnishings for our computer lab and our game room, furnishings for our music room, our art room, furnishings for the lobby area where people that came in and would just want to relax and watch television or whatever. Also, let's see, furnishings and equipment, tables, rubber mats and those kinds of things for our 2 commercial kitchens. So I think we've done a real detailed job, and I think we've been financially as prudent as we could be. But I just think we are fortunate to be able to open up a center with even this much, and we'll continue to grow as the center takes on more programs and that kind of thing. But very fortunate. I think we're very fortunate. So I'm very happy with it, and and Alan and Joanne have been a big help. So. Do you have any questions?
So, and so this FF&E has already been included in the budget, correct? Yeah. Okay. All right. Any questions? It's exciting that we're, it's always exciting when we start looking at the FF&E because we know, the project is moving along and we're
Yeah.
getting there and this building's going to open. So it's exciting.
Getting closer, yeah. Thank you.
Okay. All right. All in favor, please raise your hand. All right. That's unanimous. Thank you. Let us now move on.
I'm sorry, Barbara.
Go ahead.
Do you want me, do we want to file all the 4 items into the council or just the one that were technically required?
Well, I think, yeah, I think we should do the ones that are technically required. I don't think we need to waste our time.
I agree.
With the small stuff.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Item G. Authorize the mayor, Harry W. Rilling, to execute an agreement with O'Rourke Megani Architects LLC for architectural services for the Calf Pasture Beach Camp renovation project for a total not to exceed $119,480, account number noted, and authorize architectural design contingency with O'Rourke Megani Architects LLC for the Calf Pasture Beach Camp renovation project for a total not to exceed $11,948, account number noted. Will someone move that, please? Mr. Freyer. Thank you very much. This sounds like another exciting project.
We're gonna have Ken Hughes is gonna introduce.
Okay, all right.
Good
Right.
evening.
His baby is project, but it's gonna do us a lot of good with our youth and our youth camps at the beach.
Good evening,
Go ahead,
Madam
Ken. Thank
Chair, members of the committee. Thank you for your time. A few years ago, we started a summer camp down at Calf Pasture Beach, which ended up being wildly popular. In so much as we had to turn kids away because we didn't have enough space down at the beach. If you're familiar with the buildings down there, they're old buildings and they're not really conducive to hold a summer camp, but yet we kind of made it work. And just to give you an example, anytime we had a camp down there and we had inclement weather, we had to hurry the kids down to Marvin School for shelter. So it's very hard. There's not many covered areas down at Calf Pasture. So, this kind of started the thought process of having one of the existing buildings renovated to be a functional building that we can use for camps. If you're familiar with the beach layout, where the women's main bathrooms are, this is the building in front of the women's main bathrooms. So the building already exists. We're looking to put a sort of a roof structure covering over the building. We're going to make some usable play spaces as well as some classroom space and also an area that could be used as a learning center. There is also a set of bathrooms in that building which are currently not usable, and we're going to we're going to update those so the kids can use them. Back in late 2023, we hired Megani to do a conceptual plan for this building, which they did. We used that plan to go before the Capital Commission for funding. The plan came to, at that time, it was 1.7 million. We requested that same amount for funding. We ended up being awarded 1.2. So we are cognizant that we'd have to do some work to design the building within our budget. So we're ready to do that. So what you have before you is the design to construction documents for this camp building. If you guys have any questions on the use or the process, please let me know.
I don't have a question on the use of the process, but I'm just trying to wrap my brain around the part of the building.
Yep. So if you're driving toward the main building that's the beach,
Yeah.
it's the building on the left.
Uh-huh.
So it includes the open pavilion, which we call
Oh,
Pavilion
okay.
2.
Yep. Okay.
And then right to the right of that pavilion, there's 3 or 4 different rooms in there. One was an old locker room for the lifeguards. One was a room we used to use as kind of a teaching center. And then the bathrooms are further beyond that. So it's a segmented space right now that's not really convenient to use for camps. And everything in there is old.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I've got it now. So thanks, Ken.
You're welcome.
Any questions, comments? All right, seeing none, all in favor, please raise your hand. All right, well
Excellent.
done.
Thank you for your
Okay,
time.
thanks, yeah, thanks a lot,
Yes.
Ken.
Yep.
Thank
Exciting
you both.
project. Pardon me?
No, I was thanking them both for coming on.
Oh, okay. All right, moving on to I, authorize the mayor, Harry W. Rilling, to execute the guaranteed maximum price GMP amendment with Newfield Construction Group LLC for the Marvin, I missed a big one. Sorry, H, sorry. Authorize the mayor, Harry W. Rilling, to execute an agreement with AV Tucci Inc. as the construction manager, CM, for the Westport Avenue Fire Station, Station 4 renovation and expansion project. Terms of the agreement shall include the following. A, pre-construction phase services, including reimbursable allowance, $12,000. CM fees, percent of total trade bids, 5%, minus 5%. C, CM contingency percentage of total trades, minus 6%. Am I reading that right? Minus, or is that a dash?
It's a
Dash.
dash,
It's a
sorry.
dash. Okay, 6%.
Thank you.
Following the bidding process, final contract GMP will be submitted to the Common Council for approval, account number noted. Will someone move that, please? Ms. Edie, thank you.
I'll speak to this. We have, I believe on our last meeting, approved an architect, in Antonazi. So they have already begun, designing the changes as well as the addition. And we're moving along, just designing some new space for, the firefighters, especially, because they're going to be bringing in another group and they're combining and need a little more space. So, with that, we put out a bid, for a construction manager, and AV Tucci, as you can see here, was our lowest, bidder, and we have already chatted with them, and everything is, as we need it to be. So, these are their fees. Is there any questions about the project or anything else that I can answer? Feel free.
Anyone?
No?
No, I'm good. We've been waiting a
All
long
right.
time for this project, so it's good to see it going.
Great.
Okay, all in favor, please raise your hand. That's unanimous. Item I, authorize the mayor, Harry W. Rilling, to execute the guaranteed maximum price GMP amendment with Newfield Construction Group LLC for the Marvin Elementary School HVAC improvement project in the amount of $2,981,136. Funds are available in account number noted, and authorize the Office of Building Management to issue change order on contract for a total not to exceed $298,113. Funds available in account noted. Will someone please move it? Mr. Freyer.
Okay. Well, just I did a little quick intro. I think Jim
Go
is
ahead.
here to talk about it in a little more detail. As everyone knows, we had we went to the state for approval for HVAC projects, which included Brian McMahon, Narrowmake, Rowayton, Silvermine, Marvin, and Brian McMahon. Six, a total of 6 different schools. We have contracted for 5 of them, and as we also bid out Marvin School back in the May of this year. The prices come in really high, and through that process, after the process, we decided that we need to I guess the word is rescope the project and go out to rebid. At the time, there wasn't enough time to do this, to do any work this summer. So we decided to go out to go through the, back in August or September this year, we did the drawings, we designed it, it went out to bid, and then we got the bids came back recently. Based on the work that we've done, the bids came in now within budget, so we are going for approval at this point. The goal is here to go through committee and Common Council approval now, and then we get signed the contract with Newfield Construction, and thereafter we will authorize them to sign with the trade contractor, the mechanical contractor, so that they can start providing with submittal of equipment, and we can order it in time for installation next summer. So that's basically it. Jim, if you want to ask anything to that, or
No, actually, Ellen, you kind of covered everything there. So, there's really not much more to add. Other than, we went through a, pretty detailed, scope of Marvin after we received the bids and, discussed this with, Bill Hodell, as well as the design engineers, to find out exactly, what was needed for Marvin, which really allowed the design engineers to kind of design the system specific to the needs of Marvin. And not that they weren't before, it was just we honed in on a few areas that were of particular concern. Everybody is happy with what came out of that design, and fortunately, it was within the budget that we have.
That's good news. Within the budget. Any questions on this? All right, all in favor, please raise your hand. That's unanimous. All right, thank you. We can now move on to the discussion of the monthly school construction project update.
Jim?
Jim, you'll take
Sure.
that. Awesome, thank you.
Jim, would
Sure,
you like me to show the screen? I have it ready.
Sure, that would be
Okay.
helpful.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you'd be on it. There we go.
The first project is as Joanne is getting that to share with everybody, is the South Norwalk School. The school is obviously completed and occupied. There are a few outstanding items, minor in nature, that will be finished up by this December, and then we will be working on the financial closeout of the project with this construction manager as well as with the state of Connecticut. Things are going well. And again, we're working with facilities to make sure that they're pleased with how we turn the building over to them and how we have turned it over to them. So right now we're working together with facilities to make sure that all the bugs are worked out and the building is operating the way it should. The next project is Norwalk High School. And I feel as though that Norwalk High School is pretty much the same update every month. It's a big project. So not much changes from month to month. One of the unique things about this project is because it's so big, is we're able to essentially work on finishes and interiors in one section of the building, while the other section of the building, as you can see here, really remains wide open. But everything is going on in terms of the building envelope, with the brick facade and the metal panels and the curtain wall and the roofing. We're doing MEP rough in. We're doing ductwork and plumbing. We're doing metal framing, sheetrocking. So depending on what section of the building we're in, depends on how far along we are, as well as the percentage of completion. So it is a unique situation that you don't normally run across, whereas you're looking at these pictures, but just to the, I want to say probably west of that, is you're looking at framed in walls, you're looking at sheetrock walls, you're looking at ductwork and electrical work. So there's a big differential between completion of sections, which is, provides a unique situation for this high school because it is such a large project. Any questions on Norwalk High School?
Moving on to the,
I think
have
Jim
one
has a question.
oh, I'm sorry.
That slide that we're looking at, the left-hand slide, what is that? Are those steps going up there?
That is the auditorium, and the other side
Okay.
is the gymnasium, I believe.
Okay.
2 stories.
Your left is my right. I'm sorry,
Yes.
Jim.
Yeah,
Same.
I'm sorry. Yeah, so that's what the auditorium was looking at. It's gonna
Yes.
Yes,
obviously be a roof over that,
yes.
Hopefully.
hopefully.
No, I'm joking.
Be a problem if there wasn't, yeah.
Oops.
Indoor air quality, Brookside, all 9 rooftop units are installed. Can you just,
Oh,
sorry.
sorry,
Oh.
I don't have a picture of those.
Yeah, no, all 9 rooftop units are installed. We had a note in here that 4 were still under maintenance, but that has been rectified since we wrote this report, and closeout documentation is underway. We did have the walkthrough last week, and the walkthrough was for the engineer as well as the contractor to review the installation of the rooftop units and the operation of the rooftop units. The engineer had very minor comments, which the contractor is working on correcting. But again, they're minor in nature. The engineer is very pleased with the installation of all the rooftop units. That was a pretty successful job. Moving on to Rowayton, the new boiler has been installed. And the startup took place on the 10th, October 10th, now that we're in November, I apologize. The chimney has been repointed and relined. And they are still working in the boiler room regarding some minor punch list items, painting, things of that nature. Brian McMahon, site drainage was being relocated for the excavation for the chiller pad, and the fire department connection also had to be relocated. The chiller pad is going through a little bit of a redesign right now, but we expect to start forming up that chiller pad in the very near future. Does not affect our schedule with getting that up and running. Silvermine, the new boiler and condensers have been installed. The boiler startup was on, and that's Silvermine right there. The new boiler startup was on the 13th. There is some control work that needs to be done throughout the building, but it's minor in nature. And again, the contractor is in the process of turning over controls to the city. Naramick, the logistics plans for work during the school year are in progress. Equipment and office trailers. I saw the office trailer there today. I haven't seen the equipment trailer there, but it is scheduled to be delivered in the very near future. So work on Naramick will be occurring very shortly. And as I stated earlier, Marvin, we had a successful rebid on Marvin, and we're ready. We just had the GMP approved for that, and that work will be starting very shortly.
Great.
Any questions?
I have none. Good to
Very
see these
good.
all moving along.
Great.
All right, anything else for tonight? Alan, go
I
ahead.
just wanted a quick comment. Councilwoman Dunn, Heather. I did talk to Peter. I think it's Foster is his last name. You refer him to me, and we spent almost 2 hours talking. So we had a good conversation.
Thank you.
He could talk though.
That I know. I have probably 6 emails from him from.
Okay. I hope it's all positive. But anyway, I did spend a lot of time with him.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Yeah.
Ms. Ayers, did you have something?
No, I was just too eager to vote. Sorry.
Oh, well, why don't you make the motion then? You have a motion to make, Ms. Ayers?
I definitely do. Motion to adjourn.
Okay, all in favor? Thank you very much. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.